Hey you, yeah you, the one that's about to watch this video. You didn't hear about it? I just launched my new Instagram, Juan Gotti Sports Network. Go ahead, go over there and give me a follow. It's free, and we cover anything DC sports related or anything sports related from all major sports, whether that's MLB, NHL, NBA, or NFL. I promise you won't regret it. We cover everything, whether you're a Knicks fan and you're a Giants fan, whether you're a Redskins fan. Although we are DC sports here as fans, we do cover every other sports league and every other sports team. So go ahead and give me a follow. I promise you won't regret it. Link in the description. YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another video, and in today's video we have some more Washington football news, some more disturbing and bad news. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, in this case our Washington football team. And let's get straight into today's video, man. I don't even know how to begin. So, yesterday, we already know what happened, about everything that went happen. I made 2 videos yesterday about the whole situation. I don't even feel like repeating it, but a short summary of what happened was that people were found guilty. Larry Michaels and Alex Santos and everyone else that were involved, Richard Mann, they were all found, they were all found, I guess, guilty in a way for harassment and sexual assault against 15 women that worked with the Washington Redskins. Larry Michael grabbed the girl's face, and called her so cute, slapped her on her behind. So it was a lot, man. And the Washington Post really just exposed all of that. All the women came forward, and I feel bad for them because all the late night shows that Larry Michael did, I guess it was just him, and then her, so he thought he could get away with it. And then Bruce Allen and him are talking about, if you want to, I don't want to say that word, the R word, the girl, then why not do it? He's like, why not try to not get away with it or something like that, and try not to get caught, something like that. You guys can read the full article if you want down below. I'm still working on that video, on taking a deep dive into it. But if you guys want to read that article, it's really disturbing. So I advise you to take precaution if you're going to read it. But in today's video, which we were talking about yesterday in the group FaceTime call, which comes to no surprise, the Washington Redskins could be facing some penalization for their actions. So we have that came from Adam Schefter and per Ian Rappaport too. And also, per Ian Rappaport, J.P. Finley tweeted it. Per Rap Sheet, there could be discipline coming for the Washington Redskins based on the investigation. This could just be the beginning. So there could be some bad things coming for the Washington Redskins. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what those actions could possibly consist of. So let's get started. But before we do, we're gonna look at the Redskins or the NFL statement to this action right here. So I have the NFL statements pulled up right here. Their statement response to the whole situation, and I'm going to read it as follows. These matters that are reported are seriously disturbing and contrary to the NFL values. Everyone in the NFL has the right to work in an environment free from any and all forms of harassment. Washington has engaged outside counsel to conduct and through an investigation into the allegations. The club has pleaded that it will give its full cooperation to the investigators, and we expect the club and all of the employees to do so. We will meet with any attorneys upon the conclusion of the investigation and take actions based on the findings. So there you have it from the NFL itself. Based on what they find, if they find anything, based on what they find, that's gonna determine the punishment for the Washington Redskins. And what I said was yesterday, I was like, don't be surprised if we end up like the Houston Astros. And I know it was a different kind of, scandal for the Astros, and it's a different sport. But don't be surprised if they end up taking like our first round pick, maybe second or something like that, or players maybe, or just, Dan Snyder having to force to sell the team, maybe stuff like that. I would not be surprised if that happened. But before we even get into that, I don't think Dan Snyder's going to be forced to sell the team, because it was a report per Adam Schefter came out yesterday and said both Dan Snyder and Bruce Allen, former president of the Washington Redskins, were not involved in none of these situations. But you never know how bad it could be. You know, and you don't know how bad it can be. So therefore, they could possibly be forced to sell the team as far as Dan Snyder goes. But I don't think that's gonna happen anymore. But considering on fact what they find, if it is true, that could really hurt us in the long run. You know what I'm saying? We had a bright future. We took 1 foot forward. Well, I would say probably 2 or 3 foot forward. Now we're taking 6 steps back. I really hope they don't find nothing too serious that causes us to have to lose our draft picks. But if they do, that's really, really, really going to hurt us, man. And I'm really, I don't know how I feel about that, because we miss out on so many talent. And then I know people are going to say, well, if they take your first and second round pick, you still can find talent in the third round. That is the case, but you always want to get that first round talent in your building. So, with that being said, I believe that they will take action, and I believe, in my opinion, that they will take a draft pick or something like that, because it just seems too true. You know what I mean? Larry Michael, he made himself, although he tried to retire before this blew up, he made himself guilty by retiring. Because we're like, why would this guy just randomly up and retire out of nowhere? And he just retires the day before everything blows out. And then you just made yourself guilty. So even if your name was in the story and you can deny all you want, you made yourself guilty because you're retiring before the story actually breaks out and then your name is brought up. So you did do something. You had to. Larry Michael is a creep, man. And just to think that was the voice of the Redskins. That is crazy, man. Like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. You know what I mean? And a guy, shout out to Clover, he commented on my video yesterday. He said, you want to know why teams like the Washington Nationals and Washington Capitals are successful? It's because they have already established a culture, and a great culture with no distractions. Our executives and owners should be a role model to the players, but instead they do crap like this and make themselves look like little boys. And I replied to his comment and said I couldn't agree more, because that is true. That is actually true, because Ted Leon says, although the Wizards are bad, he still has the Capitals, and they're really good. You never hear anything coming from the Washington Capitals. The Nats, only thing wrong with their ownership over there is that they're just stingy. You know what I mean? They didn't want to pay Bryce Harper the money that I guess now people would say that he didn't deserve. But back then we were like, why didn't they not pay Bryce Harper? But I mean, I guess that paid out in the long run. You know what I mean? Because we have a great team. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point, because honestly, that's true. And I'm so happy that we have Ron Rivera here, because Ron Rivera is going to save us. He literally came out yesterday and said himself, well, we gotta look from the beginning and not the back. Well, basically what he's saying is we gotta look into the future and not what has happened. You know what I'm saying? And he also said, my daughter works for this team, and I would hell if someone had did anything to her. So that's basically what he was saying. And then the other tweet that he said, obviously I'm paraphrasing, the other tweet that he said was something along the lines that were like, Dan Snyder brought me here to change the culture. You know what I mean? And quite frankly so, it's really crazy. It is, because this is like those people that were involved in this whole scandal picked the right organization to do it under. And the reason why I say that is just because they know Dan Snyder's a wimp. They know he's a pipsqueak. They know he's like 5'6", 5'5", so they could take advantage of him. And now Ron Rivera is like a big 6'4", 6'3" kind of guy, and they know that that's not gonna fly. Ron Rivera knew about this before this even blew up. He had to, because it had to be a reason why, 4 months ago when he wanted to get rid of Alex Santos and it was non-football related. This is the reason. So Dan Snyder probably were telling Ron Rivera what has been going on for these past 7 years, and now he finally, have a person that's gonna, stick it to those guys and try to change his culture. Now he has a guy like that. That's why they're leaving. You know what I mean? And I'm really glad we have Ron Rivera. We picked the right guy for this job, just because, for the simple fact, he doesn't take no BS. He doesn't, no matter if you're a player, coach on his staff, or whatever you are as far as the Redskins. He said we have to have employees here that's all going to be on the same page, and everyone feels safe to work for the Washington Redskins. And it's all a part of changing the culture. So I really like what Ron Rivera had to say, man. And I'm really glad that we have Ron Rivera on this staff, because Ron Rivera, man, is really saving us, honestly, in a way. Just give him Coach of the Year already. But I have the tweet pulled up here, but Ron Rivera said, this is verbatim. Biggest thing is we have to move forward from this and make sure everybody understands we have policies that we will follow, and that we have an open door policy with no retributions. Plus, my daughter works for the team, and I sure as hell am not going to allow any of this, with all caps. So, and an explanation point. So, you know he isn't playing. And I'm really happy that we have him on this staff, because I really don't understand. I don't even know if Jay Gruden was still this head coach. I guarantee you, man, I don't even know what this team would be going on with this team. But honestly, I'm really happy our players are not really focused on their continuing to grind. Yesterday, Cam Newton and Dwayne Haskins were working out together with Deshaun Watson too, and Dwayne Haskins was throwing with Terry McLaurin. So I'm really happy that we get to see them at least staying focused and staying out the way and not worrying about worrying about this whole situation, because they know that it's out of their control. And I'm glad none of our players have been speaking on this, just because they know they have to worry about the on-field stuff, man. They have no control over the front office and what's going on upstairs, although it could affect them in the long run, but they have no choice over it. So with that being said, just stay focused, guys. This will get better, and I promise we deserve a Super Bowl now. We deserved it before, but now we do. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hell to the Redskins, or hell to the Washington football team. Please get this fixed. Dan Snyder, sell the team. Whatever you got to do. And Ron Rivera, we trust. Peace. I'm out.